All right. Hello, everybody. This is episode number 4 of Conversations with GA. I got my man here. He in the building, Thomas Knight, aka T. So I'm so glad for him to come on the show on this afternoon. He's a busy guy, y'all. So um, I'm so glad that he can make time out of his schedule, and we about to dive into his the things that he's doing now in a moment. But this guy here, y'all, he's really a stand-up guy. I've been knowing T for a long time, and him and his family. And he's a good dude, and I'm glad that he's on the show today. So I'm gonna let him announce himself. You know, we're not gonna prolong the time because I know that he got some stuff to do. So we're gonna let him announce himself, and then we'll go from there.
All right. Well, as Mr. Jarrell Anderson stated, I'm Thomas Knight. I like to be associated with my basketball organization because that's my passion right now. So I'm the director of GNC Elite Basketball. We are AAU basketball program, and that's who I am. And I'm gonna let him take it from here.
Yeah. So we all know you as playing ball, man. Like I think I met you. You know what I'm saying? As far as, but the first time I met you, I believe was at Peace and Inn.
Oh yeah.
They were like my fondest memories of you working at Peace and Inn, but also on the basketball court, man. But we about to get into that later on. But let's talk about your childhood, where you was born and raised at, so that the people can have some type of background of who T Knight is and where he came from.
Okay. Born and raised Tarboro, North Carolina. From kindergarten to 12th grade, that's where I went to school at. I actually continued to stay in Tarboro, North Carolina after I graduated from school until I was about, I think, 23, 24 years old. And that's around the time that I had my first son, me and my wife. At that time, she wasn't my wife. And all of my family is from Tarboro. My mom, my aunts, my cousins, my granddad and grandmother when they was alive. Just everybody, childhood friends and family, everybody. I know basically Tarboro. I mean, that's my hometown. I don't visit as much as I should or probably supposed to, but right now I'm just so busy. The basketball, like I said, has me stretched out. My current career, I'm a manager at Pitt County Department of Social Services. I'm in charge of the quality improvement, which means that we basically make sure that things are being done according to the state standards. I've been employed with Pitt County government since 2007 in the Department of Social Services. My career actually started in Edgecombe County Department of Social Services. And I think Miss Betty Battle, she gave me an opportunity to work there. And that really made my career, she started my career. I started as an entry level position, social services. When I got to Pitt County, I became a supervisor in 2012 and 2015. I went to a what we call program managers. Program managers actually oversee supervisors and line staff. I have about 30 employees that's under my umbrella at this present time. Have a big role. It's a big job. Comes with a lot of responsibilities. I have 3 supervisors that actually helped me a lot because without those supervisors, I would probably be crazy, honestly, because it's a job that's requires a lot of attention, a lot of attention to detail, and you have to know your policies and procedures because that's what my department is responsible for. I might have gave you more than what you asked me for, but that's just a brief summary of what I got going, where I came from.
No, that's good, man. You said a lot of good things there. But one of the main things that I picked up, you was talking about leadership and being a leader, from what I got out of the answers that you gave. So when you think of leadership, and I know that by you playing ball and back in the days in Tar High, you played the point guard position, and now in your role now as a supervisor or manager, and now being one of the leaders in the GNC program, what does leadership really mean to you?
Well, I think people look at leadership and they define it differently. But a leader is not just somebody that tells you what to do. A leader is somebody, to me, my leadership comes by example. My hard work and my dedication, I like to filter that on down to people that's within my organization. I don't call my staff. I don't say I'm the boss. I don't like the word boss because I'm nobody's boss. A boss that's a word that I think that's a slave word in my opinion. So I don't, my thing, I call my workers my coworkers. They're my coworkers. I believe in treating people the way you want to be treated. You get respect that way. That goes along with me in my job, in my with my basketball organization. I treat people how I want to be treated. In my basketball organization, I treat the kids like they're mine. At my job, I treat people like they're important. I say family first. If you got something going on with your family, that is important. You know, the job is important as well. But we're nothing without our family and without the people that we work with.
That's good, man. That's good. I like how you use the word boss, because it is actually, it's like, you know what I'm saying, somebody really demanding you.
Yes.
Like a type of control.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that's like, and that's pretty much what we're facing now. Like a lot of people trying to control the African American community. But we're gonna dive into that in a minute, because I know you got some thoughts on that too. Yes. But take me back. But did you play for Martin Middle?
No, I did not play with Martin Middle. I started playing when I got to Tarver High.
Okay.
I was a shy kid. You know, the world is different now.
Right.
My parents believed in, you know, taking care of the household and making sure we had what we needed. My parents and my grandparents and whoever took care of me. Basketball wasn't, you know, nothing that was taught in the home, and you know, taught in front. You wasn't taught to get in front of a lot of people and, you know, be comfortable, because that's how I saw the game of basketball. You got this crowd. Martin Middle was a packed gym. I went to the games. I said, "Dang, I don't know if I can play in front of all these people." So it was a little bit of stage fright, honestly. I think I had the skill. I probably could have played, but it was actually stage fright. So the way I raised my son, he's been in front of big stages since he was in the 4th grade. So, you know, playing middle school ball in front of 200 or 300, maybe 400, 500 people, that's nothing to him. But to me, it was like walking in front of a crowd of 1 million people.
Wow.
Just a different world. Yes, sir.
Wow. It's crazy, man. So you go to Tarver High, and I want to touch on your mother, man, Miss Cynthia, man. I know she's I haven't seen her in a while, but I know that she's a woman of God. And I know that your mother, man, she prayed for you and Dominique, man, and she loved y'all. So how has your mother been like a impact? How she made an impact on your life?
Well, let me say this. My mother, I look at her for spiritual guidance more than anything. Because my mother, I know she's a praying woman. So when I get in a jam, I know I run to the Lord, but honestly, I consult with my mother probably more than I consult with anybody. When I'm in a jam, I just need that prayer. I need to get through a situation. And I know if I put it in my mother's hands, she can pray real hard. And it seems like every time I get in a situation like that, my mother prays and it gets better. And that's just how that's the statement I have in regards to my mother. She's, like I said, she's my spiritual leader. I have a pastor, but my mother actually is here now in my home, babysitting my daughter Monday through Friday. So she's always here. Um, so I always know I got the Lord with me, and I got him with me in general, but I got him with me uh, double because my mother is in the home, and she's a praying woman all the time.
Yes,
Yeah.
she definitely is that, bro. And you know, man, I feel the same way about my mom, man. You know, like it's something about them mothers that you feel real close to.
Hmm.
And I feel real close to my mother too, man. And I can understand how you feel too. Cause my mother, she's a praying woman too.
Oh yeah,
And it's like, you know, when you in doubt, you know, you go to mom because she always got the answers. You feel me?
that's right. That's
So,
right.
and I totally get, man, what you was talking about. Now let's talk about your brother Dominique, man. Dominique,
Oh yes.
Dominique's a funny dude, man.
Oh
And
yeah.
I know he's your little brother, man. But talk about him, man. How he was an impact on your life, also.
Well, you know what? Growing up, my father, we have a father, but he didn't live in a home. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm 7 years older than Dominique. So the way we came up, I was looked at as more than like a brother to Dominique.
Wow.
Sometimes I was looked at as like a father figure because I graduated from school, like I said, 7 years before he graduated. So I was
Mm-hmm.
working. And so when I started working, I did things for him because I know I wanted him to have things that I was starting to get, because I was able to buy on my own. So we've always had a close relationship. Even through the tough times, Dominique has always looked up to me. I could talk to him. Even if somebody else might not have been able to talk to him, he's always listened to me. I always had his respect. He has my respect. That's my brother. I love him.
Yeah.
And to this day, we got a close relationship. We might not talk every day, might not talk every week, but when we talk, it's nothing but love. It's nothing but respect. We got children, so when it's birthdays and Christmas, whatever, we making sure that we do for the children. We might not do for each other because once you have children, you start receiving gifts yourself. So um,
You're right.
yes. So yeah, we're still close to this day. Dominique is a really good guy. Has came a long way. Very mature, doing well for himself these days. And I'm proud of him.
That's good, man. That's real good. Let's go back to Tarver High for a quick moment. So you played the point guard position, right?
Yes, sir.
And you was, and I can remember, man, like your defensive ability, not just to play the position, like as far as like running the play and controlling the tempo, but your defense, man. Like where did that hunger and that tenacity to play defense came from?
Well, I don't know if you're familiar with Coach Don Reeves. Coach Reeves says defense wins ball games,
Mm-hmm.
offense sells tickets. So this guy, he had a point system in practice. If you had the most points, you were rewarded. Like if you get steals, assists, shots, whatever, he kept up with whatever you did in practice. And we really had a point system. So my defensive tenacity came from I gotta go harder than the next guy because I want to get some minutes under Coach Reeves. He was unpredictable. I'm not talking about it because I did learn from Coach Reeves. He was
Right.
somewhat unpredictable. Like if you're gonna you can get 10 minutes this game, or you can get. I think the game was 32 minutes, or you can get
Mm-hmm.
20 minutes. Your effort meant everything to him. I never forget. I was in the 11th grade. Maybe 11th or 12th grade. It was a play in which I was playing defense on a opponent, and Coach Reeves was right in front of our bench. The ball hits the floor. I look at it instead of diving for it, and he said, "That's effort. Your minutes will probably be decreased if your effort don't get better." And I'm 44 years old now. I still remember that moment, and I take that moment and I carry it over to the children that I'm teaching now. Every possession matters. That loose ball that I could have probably should have dived on the fourth one when I was 15, 16 years old. It could have cost us the game. I don't even know what the final score was, but my point is defensive effort is where it starts at. I teach my kids the same thing now. I don't have all the philosophy as my high school coach, but some of the things I did take, even though I didn't see eye to eye with Coach Reams when I was under him. But when I sit back and reflect right now as a man, some of the things he taught me, I probably should have been listening, but I won't at that time.
Wow. That's good, man. Because sometimes when we're young like that, we don't think about, and take in the wisdom the older people are trying to pour in us.
Yeah.
No, we look at it as, saying they talking this and that, and we really don't accept it. We just reject it. But like you said, as you get older, then you start to think back, and you probably like, man, I should have did this, and that. Yep. But yeah, man, like, I totally agree with you. So let's get into the basketball part now. Like GNC Elite.
Yes, sir.
Give us more insight on what that really is.
Okay, so what I tell my kids is not just about basketball. That is the reason why I started the organization, honestly, was because of basketball. But as I got into it, I realized that you can't run a program or organization when your only focus is basketball. I have developed a love for the children, not just my own. I have 5 different teams at this present moment, starting with age group of 6th grade. I go up to 10th grade boys, 6th to 10th grade boys, and I have a middle school's girls team. I have kids at my house right now, as we speak, that I spend time with, because this is an environment that I want them to feel comfortable. I want them to trust me. I want them to know that I love all my kids. I tell the kids that I love them, because some kids might not hear that at home. So GNC Elite Basketball, we're founded on the principles of we promote, and our mission statement is promoting health and wellness through the game of basketball. And what that means is we want the kids to be safe. We want them to do well in school. We want them to respect people and be respected in their own aspect. But in order to get that respect, you got to give it. Some of the kids are a little bit more raw than others. And what I mean by raw, they come from different environments. Some come from, 2-parent households where their income is pretty decent. Some come from households where they might not know where the next meal can come from. But what I do, if they're with me, they don't have to worry about that. And sometimes I might put myself in a hole. But to me, it's all worth it at the end of the day, because when these kids look back when they get older, they can have those memories, good memories that maybe they might not have had because, they was put in this situation.
Right. And, it's been, I think a few years ago, it's been a lot of flack about AAU. It's all about money and not about raising boys into men as far as off the court. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people have been talking about that the past couple of years, past few years, really, that it's all about money and this, that, and the third. So, but how, and I know you see it firsthand. So how has the AAU circuit has gotten better in your eyes?
I want to be honest with you. I don't know if it's gotten better, honestly. There are some good organizations out there that are truly about the kids, but there is also some backstabbing in this game. It's a ruthless business. I might be with a kid today. I believe in loyalty. I might be with a kid today, and I'm standing with him, but a coach could approach that kid while I'm standing with him, say, man, you need to come play with us. So the game now, to me, is more ruthless. Like I said, there's some good organization out there, like Jonah Wins. I know you know Jonah. He's doing good things. His organization is one of the good ones. Yeah. I have some good relationships in the AAU game. Terrence Copper with Premier Sports Academy. I think he means well with the kids that he's working with. Him and his wife, they're doing a good job. And there are some very good people in the AAU business, but
Right.
not everybody has the same intentions. Me and actually Terrence, we have this thing where we don't believe in kids going from this team to that team, because the way I explain it to my kids is, imagine if LeBron James had a night off and he says, well, I'm gonna go play with Golden State tonight because I got a night off. How do you think the fans at home would feel about him?
Oh, yeah.
You know, they're already killing Kevin Durant because he went down to Golden State, won 2 championships.
Yeah.
And people call him a snake to this day. But he
Still
was
do.
a free agent.
Yeah, he was.
So I say, when you become a free agent, you can do what you want to do. But when you end that contract, that's how it translates to AAU. If you playing on my team this year, 2021, that should be the only team you play on. But at the end of 2021, if you say, I don't like the way they do it over there at GNC, I'm gonna go play with somebody else. That's your personal choice. But loyalty just means everything to me. That's why when I'm with my kids, and I call them my kids, they're kids in my organization. I tell them I love them. I teach them loyalty. I teach them how to love, teach them how to be responsible. When we're in the gym and they drinking water bottles, it might be 20 other kids in there. If it's 100 water bottles left because that's what they left on the bleachers, on the tables, the kids know now. I instilled it in them. We got to clean this gym before we leave. Or Coach Knight, he might be upset. So it's really about molding these kids. Nothing's gonna happen overnight. No.
Right. And man, and just listening to you talk, man, like I can hear the maturation. I can hear the love and the compassion that you have for these kids, which is just bigger and more than just basketball, man. Like you really trying to mold these young men, these boys into grown men, as they get older.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I can hear that, man. And I follow you on Facebook, and you're doing a great job, man, with these kids, man. You and Jonah Williams. I'm gonna get him on the show soon too. But you and Jonah, man, and the host of others, y'all are doing a fantastic job, man, with these kids, man. So talk about your staff, the people that really help you behind the scenes. It kind of touch on how they doing and the role that they play in supporting the GNC elite teams.
Okay, well, first and foremost, it starts with my wife. My wife is the backbone really of the program. I'm the face because I do a lot of recruiting, I do a lot of coaching and talking to kids. But my wife is her title is administrative assistant. Or assistant director. I'm sorry. I have another title for somebody else that's administrative assistant. My wife is assistant director. She does all the paperwork. She helps me collect the fees and the money from the parents, and she helps me get out the fundraising events and opportunities for the organization. And she's like the backbone. She makes sure I got all my paperwork in order. I got my 501(c)(3). She was very intricate in that. So that's where it starts at. She's my assistant director. We also have Miss Amelia Gordon. That is our administrative assistant. She was a teacher when my wife was a teacher. My wife is now an assistant principal. But she was a teacher friend of my wife, and they're actually friends outside of work. She does a lot of the helping with my wife too. They make sure everything is in order. And then it goes to my coaches. I have coaches for every team. If you want me to name them, I can. I don't have to. But my coaches, I have to be able to trust them. I coach one team. So I got 6th grade, I got 7th grade, which I coach. I have 8th grade, I have 10th grade boys, and I have my middle school girls. So I have to be able to trust other people to run their teams. And I can't be a micromanager because the way I run my team might not be the way they want to run their team. We try to put in some equivalent sets So if like when you leave my team, you might go play with the next team, so you might could be somewhat familiar. But um, my coaches and my staff makes things so much easier for me. I've grown because I started this thing. It was just me and my wife. We did everything. So I started with just two teams. My son at that point, he was in the fourth grade, but he played in the fifth grade team. Then I had a 11th and 12th grade team that was combined. So thank God that we're now able to we've been able to grow. So we're up to 5 teams. We are becoming known. Um, so all of that came, like I said, my wife was the backbone of all of that. And like I said, we've grown. She helped with the growth as well.
Yeah, I checked the other day and I see you guys are I believe ranked number 4 now.
Yes.
Wow.
So
Okay.
we're ranked number 4 in the AAU circuit, state of North Carolina, which is a big honor. We went to the nationals and actually went to the championship game.
Right.
And the team we lost to is the same team we beat in the nationals. But I would say the coaching really cost us that game. I didn't make the correct adjustments, and I'm still beating myself about that. But we'll get another shot at it.
Yeah, man. Like you, so your coaching style. What is your coaching style like?
Like I said, I'm gonna go back to Coach Dunn Reams, and some of my old teammates were like, "Man, this dude done bumped his head." But but honestly, Coach Ream had this thing. He always say, "Feet, feet, feet." That means you're moving your feet, playing defense. I don't do that. I think that's too much. But I do say my defense is what changes the game for my team. We run like, if you're familiar with the Virginia Cavaliers, they run a pack line defense.
Yeah.
I have studied that, and I actually have perfected it. That's what my boys run. I have actually took 7 of my middle school, not my 7th grade players, and we're playing in this league. One of the most popular places in Eastern North Carolina, the Dungeon. I don't know if you heard of it.
Yeah, right here in Greenville.
Yeah, right here in Greenville. Keith McGlawhorn, he's the GOAT down here. He run the Dungeon. So we got this middle school league. Middle school was 6th to 8th grade.
Right.
So I took my team of 7th graders. I'm saying I'm gonna put them in this league. I'm gonna see how we do because I'm getting us ready for the upcoming AAU season. So my 7th graders have been very dominant in that league. We're 4-0. Closest game has been 19-point difference. Woo. And me saying all that, my philosophy is defense wins ball games. We get a lot of steals. We get a lot of blocks. We get people turning the ball over, unforced turnovers. We get a lot of those. And I have some athletes, but my style, I like to run a 4 out on offense, which I got 1 big in. I got all my perimeter players on the outside of the paint. I believe in playing fast. Everybody on my team can handle the ball from my center to my point guard. So we're somewhat like the UNLV back in the day. That's my style.
Oh man, yeah. Yeah, man. Y'all are the running rebels.
Yes, sir.
Man, you just mentioned something a while ago that your 5-man run the point too. Or he bring the ball up.
And let me say this. He doesn't run the point, but if he gets the ball, he goes. I prefer him to get it to a point if he can, but if he got it a lane to the basket, he needs to go. And let me tell you this kid's name because you'll remember him, just like you were hearing about some of these bomb Duke players that's out here right now, like Jalen Johnson.
No love for the Duke boys.
I was just joking. Jordan James, kid.
Okay.
Right, he's in the 7th grade. He plays on my 7th grade team.
Okay.
This kid is gonna be a star. Remember this interview today. Jordan James is gonna be a star. It's some other stars on the team too, but this kid has a body of a man. He's about 6 foot, probably 2, 7th grader, very solid. I took him to my 10th grade boys tryout the other day. The 10th grade coach had put him on the roster, but I said, you can't have him because he on my 7th grade team. But my son, Caleb Knight, is a good athlete too. He's a point guard. He plays like his father. He's a pass first, but he can score better than I can. So my style is, like I said, defense. I know I got off topic. It's defense wins the ball games, but that defense leads to our offense.
Man, you know what? I can remember back in our day, we didn't see a lot of kids looking like grown men. And it's like this generation now, guys are 6'2" and 6'3" in the 6th grade.
Yeah.
You know, that was unheard of back then when me and you was coming up.
Yes.
You know, we was like just little kids, but these guys are like grown men now, and they in 6th, 7th grade, and these boys 6'4", 6'5" already.
That's right.
Already some prodigies.
Yep.
So you look at the I want to go back to your family before I make this next point, but talk about your kids, man. Jalen, Caleb, and your little girl, Bella Rose.
Oh yeah.
Talk about them, man, how much they mean to you, and I'm quite sure they motivate you too.
Oh, so, most definitely. Look, because Jalen, let me start with Jalen because he's the oldest. That's my 20-year-old. Right. Jalen changed my life. You remember hanging out with me some back in the day. I'm not gonna say I was a bad guy, but I know I went on the right track. Mm-hmm. I came from a good family, but Jalen changed my life because he made me start to realize that I have to be responsible. Right. Because before Jalen, I would get a paycheck, go spend it any way I could, other than what I needed to spend it on. Yeah. I wasn't establishing credit at that moment. I wasn't doing anything that was beneficial to my future. So Jalen was, he started the transition for me being a responsible man. And then, a few years later, I had Caleb. Caleb, I was getting, I think I was about 30 when I had Caleb. But even though I was 30, I still was working on my maturity. They say men mature slower than women. But I was much closer than I was before I had Jalen. So Caleb, he's a special kid, and he has always remained humble from the day he was born until now. He don't have a big head. He's level-headed. So I just look at him and I take a lot. It's amazing how you can learn a lot from a child because his patience and your ability to remain calm. If you see him play, he never gets flustered. So I take that and, I can use that in life. Like when I get overwhelmed with work, I have a pile of paperwork on my desk. I used to stay to work to 6 or 7 o'clock every day, but now I get up, my time to get off work is 4:30. So I kind of took Caleb, how he sees life and how he's doing with, with things like his schoolwork and his basketball. I look at that work now at 4:30. I say, look, I got to go home. It's going to be here tomorrow. And that's kind of how Caleb is, very calm, never get flustered. He can handle pressure well. So that helped me. And Bella Rose, she just changed my whole life, because having a daughter, I would say it's a lot different than having boys. Because now you got to watch out for the boys. Right. Her personality is just, it's different. She is not afraid of any moment. Mm-hmm. All of this stuff I could take, and use it in life, use it on the court, use it at work, use it wherever I go. And I just look at Bella and she lights up the day. It could be raining outside, but, having Bella Rose around, makes everything so much more exciting. When I walk in the house, she's ready to hug me. She greets me. Nobody greets me like Bella, not even my wife. And I'm not talking about my wife. My wife is an excellent woman, but nobody greets me like my daughter.
Uh,
And it just changed my perspective. Respect for women. I got respect for women, but it just makes you respect women even more once you have a daughter. So, yep.
that's good, man. I think she just had a birthday, what, last week? A couple
Yeah,
weeks ago?
yeah, it was February the 2nd. We celebrated it 2 weekends ago.
Right, right.
Had a drive-through celebration.
But she's 4, 5?
She's 4. Yes, sir.
4. Okay, okay. Wow, man. And Caleb is tall. Like, he's growing, man. Every time I see him on Facebook, man, like, he gets taller and taller and taller, man.
Yeah. And I was that height in the probably 9th, 10th grade that he is now.
See, you know what I'm saying? Like, these young kids are growing. I don't know what y'all feed them guys, man.
Yeah, that's what it's something in the food, man.
I wish we had some of that, you know what I'm saying, back in our day.
Exactly.
Talk about your wife, man. I know you touched on her briefly.
Yeah.
But talk about Keela, man, and how she really supported you, man, down through the years, and also as a wife and a mother.
Oh yeah, my wife is very amazing. You know, so I can't say I always have appreciated her the way I should, but that comes with growth. My wife is so she is the backbone of our family. She keeps things together. I can some things I don't even have to worry about because I know my wife got it. You know, she handles the bills in the household. You know, not saying I don't pay bills, but she takes care of the bills, making sure they are paid. She takes care of our family. We don't have to worry about what we're eating from one day to the next. She's either cooking or saying, what we're gonna eat out today. You know, she handles that type of stuff. And she's just a solid woman. She's very goal oriented. She's driven, and she has a lot of things that she wants to do. A lot of things she's already accomplished. She's an assistant principal at this present time. She started off as a teacher, and she just felt like she needed to go in a leadership role. So now she's an assistant principal. She's also a real estate agent. And if you know anybody looking for a house, she can help. That's my little. She also sells Mary Kay, man. So she's very well rounded. She holds us together. My motive, she does a lot more doing financial things. They're trying to bring back more money to the household. My job is my breadwinner. That's where I get my finances from. I don't get paid for the basketball. I don't get paid at all. But that's where I spend a lot of my time at. You know, on that basketball court. So yeah, my wife is amazing. That's pretty much sums it up. She's amazing. She's the I'm not gonna say she's the leader, but she is the backbone of our family. We work things out together. She's very patient with me because it took some patience with me because I wasn't where I need to be, but I'm closer than I ever been. I'm actually there. I feel like I'm there now. But thanks to my wife for her patience and because you know if I would have ended up with somebody else, I don't know how life would have ended up for me. So
it's good, man. It's good, man. We got to wrap this up, man. But real quick, I just want to ask you this, man. You know, throughout this interview, man, I've been hearing you talk about the Lord a lot. And, you know, that's, to me, now that's very important because we all need the Lord in our lives. As far as like, you know, making some choices or asking him to lead us. And, you know, and when I hear you always moving by faith. So explain to me in your own words, how is your relationship with the Lord?
My relationship with the Lord is, I'm not gonna say I'm exactly where I need to be, but I trust in the Lord with every decision that I make. My organization I consider it a ministry, not just a basketball organization. We preach devotionals to our kids so they can know the Lord. We always wrap up with the Lord's Prayer with my kids. I call them my kids. I'm sorry, I'm not talking about my kids in my household, my basketball kids.
Right.
the Lord's Prayer is a thing that all of my kids have to know when they come in my organization. That's how we wrap up at the end of every game, and that's how we start off every game with the Lord's Prayer. So the Lord is, He's been with me. I went from working at Pizza Inn 1993, 4, oh no, 96, 1996. And now I'm a manager at Pitt County Department of Social Services with a lot of responsibilities. So, and I did a lot of this, just by, the Lord was in it, because most people, and that was where I was when I end up where I am. Yeah.
That's good right there, man.
Yep.
Good. You just said something. Most people that started out with you, it's not where they didn't move far along as you moved along.
Yeah. And that was Lord, because it wasn't me. It was all
right,
me.
Right. Wow, man, that's something good there. I even learned something just by you saying that, man. Because and that's what this thing is all about. T. The Bible said, "Iron sharpens iron." So I can learn from you, man. We can all learn from each other, man. So that's very important, man. Yes, man, I hate to do this, man, but we gotta wrap this up, bro.
Okay.
Wrap this up, man. You man, you are a tremendous friend. I thank you, man, for being on the show today. We're gonna wrap this up, man. Conversations with GA, episode number 4. Episode 5 is coming soon. Stay tuned. And once again, I'd like to thank Coach Thomas Knight for his time. And man, we're gonna continue to pray for you, man. You and your family, man. Y'all stay safe, man. Anything you want to say? Any last words you want to say?
I just want to say thank you for this opportunity today. And I always love you like a brother. Keep doing the good things you have been doing. You and Dwight Flowers are two that stand out to me that's in like ministry now. And I'm proud of y'all. I look up to y'all. So just keep doing what you're doing as well.
Hey, man, thank you for that, man. I love you too, bro. Love you and your family. And we're going to stay together, man, and stay in touch. And we're going to keep praying for one another, man. And always show love, y'all. Always show love. Don't show hate. Always show love. Thanks, T, man. I love you, man. And and we'll see you soon.
All right. Take care, sir.
All right, bro.